Welcome, age of vintage society. Roger Moore will perhaps always be remembered as the man who replaced Sean Connery in the James Bond series, arguably something he never lived down. How Roger Moore's private life was revealed after 70 years. Make sure to watch the video until the end and leave your thoughts in the comments. If you are new here, join our wonderful community by subscribing to the Age of Vintage channel. Diamonds are forever, and so is drama. Film critics can't agree. Was Roger Moore the best Bond? They told me I was too fat, too unfit and too hairy to be 007. Wonderfully witty, packed with gossip and as stylish as he was. Moore made his start in the film industry in 1945 and appeared in television roles throughout the 1940s and 50s. His big breakthrough as an actor came in 1962 when he appeared in the hit series The Saint. It was this series that established his charm and style, which he carried with him throughout his career. In addition to starring in the series, the actor also worked as a producer and director behind the scenes. He is best known for portraying James Bond, a role he would master in 7 films from Live and Let Die to A View to a Kill. In 2004 he was voted Best Bond in an Academy Awards poll. Roger's Bond was best known for his wit, playboy antics and a seductive eyebrow raise, but in real life the actor was reportedly shy, something which gradually changed with his growing fame. He was the only child of Lillian (Lily) nee Pope, a housewife, and George Alfred Moore, a policeman. His mother was born in Calcutta, India, of English origin. He attended Battersea Grammar School but was evacuated to Holsworthy, Devon during the Second World War and attended Launceston College. Moore initially wanted to be an artist but got into the film industry after becoming an extra in the late 1940s. Moore also served in the British military during World War II. He moved to the US in 1953 and landed a contract with Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. He was further educated at Dr. Challoner's Grammar School in Amersham, Buckinghamshire, and then attended the College of the Venerable Bede at the University of Durham, but did not graduate. Moore studied for 2 terms at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, during which his fees were paid by film director Brian Desmond Hurst, who also used Moore as an extra in his film Trotty True. At RADA, Moore was a classmate of his future Bond co-star Lois Maxwell, the original Miss Moneypenny. Moore chose to leave RADA after 6 months in order to seek paid employment as an actor. His film idol was Stuart Granger. At the age of 17, Moore appeared as an extra in the film Caesar and Cleopatra, meeting his idol on the set. Later, Moore and Granger were both in The Wild Geese, though they had no scenes together. At 18, shortly after the end of the Second World War, Moore was conscripted for national service. On the 21st of September 1946 he was commissioned into the Royal Army Service Corps as a second lieutenant. He eventually became a captain, commanding a small depot in West Germany. He later looked after entertainers for the armed forces passing through Hamburg. Despite these, Roger Moore actually suffers from hoplophobia, fear of firearms. In the early 1950s, Moore worked as a model, appearing in print advertisements for knitwear, earning him the nickname The Big Knit, and a wide range of other products such as toothpaste, an element that many critics have used as typifying his lightweight credentials as an actor. Although Moore signed a 7-year contract with MGM in 1954, the films that followed were not successes and, in his own words, at MGM, RGM, Roger George Moore, was NBG. No bloody good. After that he spent a few years mainly doing one-shot parts in television series, including an episode of Alfred Hitchcock Presents in 1959 titled The Avon Emeralds. He signed another long-term contract to a studio, this time to Warner Brothers. He broke a couple of Bond traditions. Roger Moore's Bond was a man who did things his own way. For starters, he never drove the iconic Aston Martin that all the other Bonds have driven. He preferred less flashy vehicles like the Citroën 2C V6, the Alfa Romeo GT V6 and the 1976 Lotus Esprit. He never ordered the shaken not stirred double martini either. The drink was ordered for him on a couple of occasions, but he never did so himself. Moore's Bond also enjoyed smoking cigars, as opposed to the cigarettes that Sean Connery was known for. The most comical Bond. Ignoring one-liners, Moore's Bond had some of the funniest moments. For example, when the henchman Nick Nack surprises him in a boat when he's making love. The spy uses a suitcase as a weapon before enclosing Nick Nack in it and throwing him overboard. And what about the ridiculous scene where he steps on top of alligators while fleeing in Live and Let Die? Moore's Bond was always comical, and at times the movies almost looked like parodies, but that's what made them so great to watch. Moore married 4 times in his life and is survived by 3 children, Geoffrey, Christian and Deborah, all of whom he had with his 3rd wife, Louisa Mattioli. Papers found in an old laundry box after 70 years reveal some interesting moments in Roger Moore's private life. But the discovery of an old box of letters, photographs and papers belonging to Moore's first wife, Dawn Van Stein, is offering a fascinating glimpse into the British actor's life before he was famous, as well as the romantic shenanigans that dominated his volatile first marriage to an older woman. The documents found in a 40s laundry box also reveal the extraordinary devotion the teenaged Moore showed to Van Stein's toddler son, while the 3 of them lived in a tiny attic bedsit in Streatham, South London. It is that stepson who stumbled across the metal box while looking through his late mother's possessions. It was like finding a treasure trove, says Sean Van Stein. Sorting through the contents has been like looking through a window onto the past. Along with a marriage certificate and divorce papers detailing slapstick antics that could have come straight out of an Ealing comedy, are passionate letters the besotted 19-year-old Moore wrote to Dawn while on national service. A taxi driver's daughter, whose real name was Lucy Woodard, Dawn was a 25-year-old divorcee and single mother with a blossoming career as a circus ice skater when Moore met her at drama school RADA towards the end of World War II. Policeman's son Moore fell passionately in love with the hot-headed blonde, even learning to ice skate so he could spend more time with her. But the letters he wrote to his darling Dawny while on national service in 1946 also reveal his insecurity. "Darling, I feel so miserable as I haven't heard from you yet," Moore writes from Blenheim Camp near Bury St Edmunds in Suffolk, where he was sent for 6 weeks basic training in September 1946. He continues, "God, I'd so love to hug you and kiss you and feel your baby body in my arms, you snooky little angel puss." Moore married Dawn during his first home leave in December 1946, with just a few family members present. Dawn felt confident enough about her burgeoning career to write "film actress" in the occupation box on their marriage certificate, while Moore merely wrote Second Lieutenant RASC, Royal Army Service Corps, in reference to his national service role. There was no time or money for a honeymoon. In another letter to Dawn, sent in 1948 from Germany, where he served with the British Army on the Rhine, he writes, "Dear heart, I love you more than anything else in the world, but how I would like to spank your wonderful dimply goose-flesh bottom. Ours will be a perfect and terribly happy marriage, as long as we are together. Mr. and Mrs. Roger Moore. I think it sounds wonderful, don't you?" but he clearly felt threatened by his wife's desire to travel abroad. "Can't you wait for my release from the bloody army and then start trying to break my heart? I know that you'll probably turn me mental if you keep up this correspondence cattishness." "I love you, darling, and if it is true, as you say it is, that you love me, then why the hell don't you stop this silliness?" Even after Moore was demobbed, Dawn's increasing success as an ice skating star on international tours meant he was often left behind in the Streatham bedsit at the top of a Victorian house belonging to his wife's sister. While failing a string of auditions, he worked as a dishwasher and a waiter and took on small jobs arranged by his wife. Later, the couple moved to a 30s mansion block in nearby Wavertree Road, Streatham. Born during the war, baby Sean had his eardrums damaged by the shockwaves from one of Hitler's V-2 rockets, leaving him with severe hearing problems. But Moore, he says, was gentle and patient, often using hand signals to communicate, sometimes caring for him single-handedly while Dawn was away. Moore even took him to stay at his own parents' home in Stockwell. "In many ways he was more of a parent than my mother. He was the only father I ever knew," says Sean. "I remember him taking me to the Fun Fair, London, and to sail my toy yacht on Clapham Common Ponds. He was kind and loving and funny." When surgeons managed to restore Sean's hearing when he was 9, it was Roger who was at his hospital bedside when he came round, holding a stamp album he had bought for him. Looking back now, it was pretty extraordinary how kind and patient he was with me, given how young he was. Most men wouldn't want to be saddled with another man's son, but I only have wonderful and warm memories of Roger. Eventually Moore and Dawn's diverging careers and bitter rows tore them apart. Moore was also very involved in philanthropy, working with UNICEF as a Goodwill Ambassador for over 20 years, and speaking out on issues such as HIV/AIDS. As a chairman of Kiwani's International Worldwide Service Project, he also helped raise $91 million towards the elimination of iodine deficiency. Sir Roger Moore, one of the most iconic actors to play James Bond in the famed British spy series, has passed away at 89 after a short battle with cancer. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new here, and if you want to support my work, please visit my Patreon page. Now it is your turn. Have you ever thought that the former James Bond kept such personal secrets? Maybe he is not only the most humorous James Bond, but also the most warm-hearted, don't you think?